I'm Dr. Ted Smith. Welcome to Pure Chiropractic. I'm so glad that you made the decision and that you understand the reason why you're here. And that's because you saw in your x-rays the subluxations that were present that in my eyes are creating most of the health challenge that you suffer from every single day. So part of what we're talking about tonight is to turn your power on, is to get people to understand the healing power from the brain down the spinal cord out through the nervous system to every organ, tissue, and cell. Here's why I became a chiropractor. We're a sick and dying nation. We're as sick as we've ever been, but we keep spending more and more money on healthcare. 1 every 50 kids right now are diagnosed with autism. To me, that's a horrible statistic. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. 350,000 Americans are currently on dialysis. 50 million Americans are suffering from allergies. 23.5 million kids and adults in the US have diabetes. 74.5 million people in the United States age 20 and older have high blood pressure. And over $20 trillion was spent the last decade on healthcare. So my question is, do we believe all of these different illnesses are getting better or getting worse? Statistically, we get worse and worse and worse every single year. My next question is, do you believe we're spending more money or less money on these problems? We're spending more money. So if these problems continue to escalate as we spend more and more money on healthcare, doesn't something need to change? We're looking at that from the wrong place. And why? Because the bottom line is we keep looking at the outside-in approach. We're not taking care of our engines. We're not taking care of our vehicles. And what's happened, they're starting to cost us a lot of money. But we keep taking this outside-in approach. People aren't exercising the way they should. They're not eating the way they should. They have so much social stress means they're not thinking the way they should. And very few people get adjusted. And obviously, as a chiropractor, I'm going to explain why that is the most important part of all of this, because you have to make sure the brain-body connection is always present as close to 100% as possible. So have you more faith in a spoonful of medicine than the power that animates the living world? I don't. That's why I became a chiropractor. A chiropractic checkup could save the lives of those you know. And that's why, please, as I talk tonight, please listen to what I'm saying. And I hope and pray that you're thinking of somebody else that may have similar health problems or health problems that you never thought of. Because the bottom line is chiropractic and back pain, I hope that's the smallest benefit you ever get out of being in our office. I hope that your body starts to sleep better, that you have more energy, that you start to digest better, that you get sick less often. To me, those are the healing benefits of a good functioning nervous system. So ultimately, you need to understand how we lose our health. And I don't believe doctors do a good enough job explaining that to our patients. Most of us, when you look at health or death, there's a continuum. We're never staying in stasis. If we're in stasis, we're dead. So every decision you make either moves you towards health or away from health. Most people come into this world in a state of health. We're an organic being created in 9 months with perfect organization. So we came into this world, instantly we become stressed. Now, we don't have just emotional stress as an infant, obviously, but there's stress. There's an ever-changing environment that the body has to start adapting to, which is a stressful thing to a nervous system. Over time, we start to crawl, we start to walk, we start to fall off the bed, we start to fall off the swing, we fall off our bike, we start to play sports. All of these things start to create these subluxations in our spine, the misalignments of our spine. So when we create the subluxations in the spine, or the misalignments, now we create malfunction, dis-ease of the body. It means the body's no longer in a state of ease. It's now having to work overtime. And when a body is stressed out having to work overtime, it leads to a disease. Now there's a pathological condition happening. That pathological condition leads to a symptom. When do most people do something with their health? When they have a symptom. Look where we're sitting on as far as the health continuum. So what most people do, they take care of the symptom, usually through a pill, an injection, or surgery, but they never truly identify what created the stress in the first place. They don't remove the subluxation, so they live in this area down here. Eventually their health disintegrates because there's not enough pills that can, we're looking for the next pill to regain our health. The bottom line is most of the health challenges we have today, it's not due to bad genes, it's not due to bad germs, it's not due to bad luck, it's due to bad choices. And if you continuously make bad lifestyle choices, we are continuously going to keep putting the stresses, which creates the muscle tension, which pulls on the vertebra, which ultimately chokes off the brain-body connection. To be in awe of the body, let's go back. Embryogenesis, a sperm and an egg unite. The incredible thing is the heart starts to form approximately the 24th day. The eyes start to form approximately the 36th day. What so few people realize is that your nervous system, it starts to form within the first 7 hours after conception. So think of the organization that's going to start to take place. And look what happens in 4 weeks. So look at that incredible spinal cord starting to form, but look at the heart starting to form there. We don't even know we're pregnant yet. So it's not the female's educated mind creating that life. It's the innate intelligence from the brain down the spinal cord to make sure life is starting to organize. And then look at 5 weeks. Look at the organization, that little buds for arms and legs start to come in. And then look at 11 weeks, 3 inches long. Everything that baby needs is there. Now just nature needs to take its course, and we need to stay out of the way. Because in 9 months, that's what's created. But there again, think of the organization that went into creating that. Think of coming out with 5 fingers on both hands that are pretty much the same length. And 5 toes on each feet, pretty much the same length. Arms that are the same length. Put 2 holes where our eyes are and 2 holes where our ears are. So think of the organization that goes into that. That intelligence doesn't leave that baby 11 inches down the birth canal. It stays with that baby throughout life. It's within you, it's within me. And sometimes it needs that interference removed so that it can help repair, replace, and recreate new tissue with the same vigor it had when it's the first 9 months. And that's what chiropractic is. It's restoring that healing power so the brain, which created all of this in the first place, can constantly be sending that message as close to 100% as possible. If we were given a brain and we were given a spinal cord, that is your central nervous system. That's the first thing that is formed. It starts to form within the first 7 hours. And then from that, all of these parts grew out of that. The heart, the 24th day, the eyes, the 36th day. So all of these parts start to grow out of the spinal cord. My question is, when one of these parts start to go bad with a symptom, why would we treat the part before looking to where it grew out of to make sure there's no interference to that part? Now, how do we know we live our life through the nervous system? If you ever went to a dentist and he cut the nerve to your tooth, the tooth would die every single time. It doesn't matter how many times we brush it, floss it, go to the dentist, we just cut the life to that part. So instead of cutting a nerve, if we pinch that nerve off, it's the same thing but to a lesser degree. And science has shown that weight of a dime on a nerve can shut down nerve supply up to 60%. So think of this like the apple tree. And think of this as the trunk. And then from that, you have all of these branches that branch out. And on the end of those branches, we have all of these apples that are hanging off the branch. So let's say you're the farmer, and let's say that's your apple tree. If you notice that your apples started to discolor, maybe started to wilt a little bit, they just didn't look healthy, would you go look at each individual apple for the problem? Or would you take a step back and say, wait a second, what happened to my trunk of my tree? Did somebody hit it? What about the soil around it? Something happened to the lifeline out to those apples. We were given 24 movable bones. It's your suit of armor. It protects the spinal cord from sports, slips, falls, car wrecks, repetitive jobs, even the birthing process. Not just for the mother, but for the infant, which is why we see so many children in this office. Because if you can create subluxation-free bodies from day one on, now you can start to create healthy children which become healthy adults rather than looking to repair damaged adults. So the subluxation, you can see the normal healthy cervical spine here. And you can see how all of these bones are in a good position. They're moving the way they should. There's plenty of nerve flow happening. What a subluxation is where a bone or bones move out of the normal position and start to create nerve interference. So wherever those nerves are going, we just create less life to that part. So some frequently asked questions. Being a new practice member, sometimes there's a lot of questions that, okay, why am I here? What am I doing? And hopefully tonight's going to clear some of that up. But how long is it going to take to start feeling better? You may already be starting to feel better. The law of healing says, if you're alive with nerve interference, you have to be better off alive without nerve interference. So from day one on, what we're looking to do is I'm not treating any one specific part, I'm treating the whole. Just like a good dentist, he's not just going to look at the tooth that hurts, he's going to look at your entire mouth to make sure there's not future problems happening. So what we are doing is we're looking at starting to free up the nervous system, starting to get more life to all the different parts of the body. So be patient with your healing. I don't have a magic wand. Healing takes time, and always remember, symptoms come out at the end of a problem, not the beginning of a problem. So often this has been building and building and building for years. Now you've made a decision to put the time and energy back into the healing. So be patient with it. So how do we check progress? I look at x-rays. You're on a program of care right now. My goal is to slowly start making some changes. Start making some changes to the nervous system. Start getting more life flowing back through your system. But ultimately, I want to see structure changing. And that's what takes time. And to me, that's why I'm so different than most chiropractors. I don't want to just be a Band-Aid for you. I don't want to be the next aspirin. I'm looking to your future. I'm not looking at next week, I'm looking next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. Because ultimately that nervous system is going to be part of you for a lifetime, and that's truly what's going to determine your future health. I'll always base my recommendations on two things. Number one, my objective findings. What do I see in x-ray? And what are your goals? How high do you want to get? What level of health do you want? If you come in looking like this, phase 3, 4 degeneration, the disc space is gone, the bone spurs are all the way up. You can see what a healthy, normal cervical spine looks like. It's got a really nice C shape in it. You put the weight of a bowling ball on there, it should act like a spring. The discs, the cushions look perfect. So if somebody comes in looking like that, we're never gonna look like that. But the bottom line is you have to work on slowing down the decay and the degeneration that's happening, because ultimately you're choking off that spinal cord. The 3 phases of care. Right now you're in that initial intensive phase, which means we're trying to stimulate the nervous system, trying to get the body to wake itself up. That is typically a 3-month program with us, approximately 24 adjustments, trying to stimulate the nervous system. That gets you ready for phase 2. I call that the reconstructive phase. And that's where we're going to repetitively continue to put the vertebra back into as good a position it will allow to get the muscles and ligaments to continue to mend, remold, reshape the spine, which gets you ready for what I call wellness care. I'm blessed because that's what most of my practice is. They put the time and energy into getting their nervous system back to 100% of what it is capable of. Is it perfect? No, it's not. It's like going to a dentist. You go to an orthodontist, he puts braces on your teeth. You're never going to have perfect teeth, but he's going to get them back to a point that they function at a really high level and don't create future problems, which is what our goal is. Correction of a nervous system is typically a 6-month to a 5-year process. So be patient with the progress. If you look at health over time, anything worthwhile in this world takes time, especially healing. If I was to cut your arm, there's nothing you can do to speed up that healing process, but there's a lot of things you can do to slow it down. So if you look at our health over time, over the next 3 months, we're going to continue to start adjusting that spine. And we continue that, we're going to get to a point that you start to get better health. And then you have decisions to make. Do I continue on a program to continue to climb to a higher level? Am I satisfied with where I'm at, or do I stop care? Some people, very few, decide to stop care. And to me, it's like going to a gym. You hire a personal trainer, you start working out over 3 months, you get yourself in better shape, but then you stop. What do you think is going to happen? You fall out of care. You fall out of health. And then you go back to the personal trainer, and what does he say? You need to start over. I don't want that for you. I want to get you to a point, and I hope and pray that you have the same goals I do, and that's to get optimal function out of your body. Because it's the only body you're ever going to have. And we don't understand how important our health is until we lose it. Water and supplements. You know, you got to drink water every single day. My goal is for you to drink half of your body weight every single day in ounces. Supplements, you got to try to eat good, okay? Nothing can replace eating good foods, all right? But we need to be sufficient because so many people are deficient. And I just believe that we should try to eat what a caveman does. Seeds, nuts, fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish. When you can do most of those and avoid the refined grains, the refined carbs, now your body has a better chance to function at a higher level. I believe you should supplement with a good organic omega-3 fish oil, with a good probiotic, and a good multivitamin, all right? made with real ingredients, all right? Not synthetic, which are what most vitamins are, because your body absorbs literally about 2% of that. And the last one, especially in the winter, is vitamin D, vitamin D3. So I have all of those in our office. Any questions with that, just please ask me or any of the staff. How many workshops should I come to? I hope and pray that you come to as many as we have. My goal is for you to always hear different messages about what goes into health and healing. And you know what? Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. I understand that sometimes we need that little boost. We need that little help. And to me, that's what our family is. It's continuously helping each other to keep raising to another level of health. So I assume you're looking to reach your peak potential, your optimal potential of health and healing. I wish my adjustment could get you back to 100% health. To me, it's the most important part. But none of these are optional. You have to exercise. You have to get your heart rate moving. You have to do that physiologically for a body to be well. We have to try to eat well. We have to try to put more good foods in our body than bad. And you know what? We're never going to be perfect out there, which means sometimes our diet's not going to be perfect. And sometimes I challenge you, if to look at 3 bad habits that you have as far as eating. And sometimes we need to add more water. Sometimes we need to take things away, maybe Cokes, maybe cigarettes, maybe just too much ice cream, whatever it may be. But the bottom line is, let's say you make no changes. And let's say I ask you over the course of this next year, eat what you eat every single day, eat your normal routine, but every single meal I want you to add something raw, either a fruit or a vegetable. And I want you to do that 3 times a day. So do you think over the course of a year, even with your same diet that you're doing today, do you think you'll be healthier or sicker? You're going to be healthier because it's cumulative. You're starting to put more good things into your body. So sometimes that's what I challenge you to do, is just look at putting something raw in your body every single day with every single meal and slowly start identifying maybe some of the things that are pulling me back. But optimally, and the last one is that thinking well. We're in such a world of social stress at home, work, kids, school, money, our health. You have to try to channel that. And to me, the best way to do it is through either praying or meditation. Preferably both. Should I get my family and my kids checked? Who doesn't need a chiropractic checkup? To me, if you're alive with a nervous system, you're eligible to be a practice member. You're eligible no matter where you live in this world to go find a chiropractor. Don't wait for things to break down. That's why we're in this health challenge that we have out here. People are waiting for the next symptom. Do it before. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a whole lot easier to raise healthy kids and healthy adults than to repair damaged adults. So, how long does my family need to be adjusted? I've been getting adjusted for 33 years now. My children have been adjusted since the first hour of their life. And I'm confident in saying that they're going to be adjusted the rest of their life, no matter where they live in this world. I will be adjusted once a week religiously till the day I die. So ultimately, when you look at how long should a family be adjusted, as long as you want to stay healthy. To me, it's like, how long do I need to actually brush my teeth? I don't have to brush them anymore. You do that for the rest of your life. How often do I actually have to work out that I never have to work out again because I reach good shape? You do that for a lifetime if you truly want to get the benefit of it. All I expect are 2 things. Number 1, be committed. Be here when I ask you to be here. If you start hitting and missing, the end result becomes very, very, very unpredictable. All right? I'm going to give you 100% of what I have. All I ask is 100% of what you have so I can get you the most nerve flow into that system. And I ask that you're committed with trying to exercise a little bit more, trying to just eat a little bit better, trying to drink more water. And together over time, you start to get your health back. And the second thing I ask is that you tell others. You tell others about what you learned. You tell others about chiropractic. Even if they don't live in this area, tell them why they need to find a chiropractor in their area to get more nerve flow into their system. Because so many people out there are struggling. So many people just have no idea that's what chiropractic is. Because I hear all the time people say, Dr. Ted, when I have back pain, I'm going to come see you. And I always say, you know what? That's great. Because usually chiropractic is pretty good at that. But let me explain to you what I truly do. And I explain to them that the power that made the body heals the body. If you want good health, you better keep good nerve flow into your system. Don't wait for it to break down. That means it's been building for years and years and years. Stay ahead of that so you can keep your health and live the most awesome life possible. Patch it or fix it. And a chiropractic checkup could save the lives of those that you love. So go tell others about chiropractic. Thank you and God bless.